Throughout the apprenticeship here at Maine Primitive Skills, we walk out 2 to 3 miles to work on our skills in shelter building, water procurement, fire making off the landscape, and food. Each trip brings us to a whole new level in our proficiency so that our instructors can speak from experience.
Ritz will be over here, I'll be over here, we'll be playing footsies all night right in the middle, and Scott and Austin will be doing the same thing over there, and then Ian and Matt over there. It's gonna be great.
An important aspect of the survival trip is understanding the calorie budget that we put ourselves on. The best investment of these calories is in a proper shelter. Having our bodies up off the ground with enough insulation surrounding us will enable us to stay warm and dry and avoid hypothermia, as well as get a really good night's sleep.
So it's going to amount to basically 6 sleeping chambers, but we only need to make 3 and then we just close them off with leaves.
There's no bark on it. That allows some moisture to leave it much faster. And it's been on the edge of the pond here.
As soon as we head out the door, we're already thinking about the trip and materials that we need to collect. Number one enemy of fire is moisture. That's why all of our materials that we gathered, we try to get from the edge of a field or even the edge of the water where it gets sun. The method of fire that we chose to do is kind of a hybrid between strap drill and bow drill. We're able to do that because we have more than just one person. So we used basswood for the cordage. We used the fibers were pretty much redded right on the tree. Our hearth board, which is what you drill into, was also basswood. And we used a pine spindle to get the fire. We're all dehydrated at this point. Nobody's drank water since first thing that morning, and we've all built our shelters. So we've been raking and piling leaves and working for hours on the shelter, and so we're all dehydrated. It's very much an attitude thing and a gratitude thing. With appreciation for fire, because this is how we're going to boil our water. The heat's driving the moisture out so that the fire can take hold.
Here we go, fire! We got fire!
We're drinking from a pond, which you can see a big old beaver lodge right in the middle of it, so you know that the water is likely contaminated. So it's a good rule of thumb to boil all water anyway, especially when you know it's going to be contaminated and have plenty of microorganisms. The more challenging parts of the survival trip is creating a good water container and having a good system for boiling water. So the one thing we brought with us besides our knives, or just a few knives, only a couple of us brought knives, we also brought the metal pot.
How's the water
Hey
taste?
Colby, how'd you make this one?
Amazing.
Actually, it tastes fine. It
Best
tastes like pine
water
needle tea.
I've ever had in my life.
Good. I'm gonna add some more debris and then I'm gonna smudge it out again. Just grab a coal from the fire and some leaves and make sure I don't catch the whole thing on fire. Just get some smoke and that'll help to drive all the other insects out of there. So.
You gotta put way more leaves on top, like on top of Scott and Austin, but I have no idea how it's gonna work, but I feel pretty good about it. Neat.
I slept pretty good last night, except for the dusk mosquitoes that kind of went for about 2 hours probably, and then I finally fell asleep and woke up and I was like, oh man, keep that fire going.
Well, I don't know. I've heard some stories of some pretty good debris huts that have taken a beating, and if you've got enough debris on there and you're inside, your heat radiating out and kind of drying it out.
Yeah, I mean, I had a few wet spots at the beginning of the night, but by like 2 or whatever, it was pretty dry. Got a few big patches of sleep, but I was in there for like 12 hours, so it was a pretty decent amount of where I was awake.
Once the systems have been put in place to maintain shelter, water, and fire, all energy goes to acquiring food. We chose our location for our camp very wisely, pretty close to a pond that had plentiful amount of cattails, frogs, snakes, all sorts of critters that were fairly easy to catch in the short amount of time that we knew we were going to be out there. So good to eat some meat after not eating meat for a few days. I can feel like the energy just filling me up. I already ate the flipper.